low, 2000, baby. Eden Palms, Monterey Road, I'm a project, baby. Eagles Drive, we was at Oak Grove, barely graduated. We got Tasha, Molly, Bodie, Corbett, they gon' have to hate us.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the New Media Podcast. I'm your host, Ya. We hope you enjoyed the last episode because, as always, today is going to be an even better episode. I got the whole crew with me. Everybody's in the house today, and Week 14 of the NFL season is right around the corner, so it's only right that we talk about that and give our predictions. But along with that, I do want to talk about the Odell Beckham Jr. sweepstakes. Some news has come out about that this past week, so of course we got some thoughts on that. But you guys know the drill. Before we start our topics, temperature check. How's everybody doing?
I'm chilling, man. I'm feeling good.
Feeling extremely good this week, man. Feel like we got another bye week this week, so feeling great.
This guy and his bye weeks, man. They don't end, huh? But let's go. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Week 14 of the NFL season, Thursday Night Football. We have the Las Vegas Raiders on the road playing the Los Angeles Rams.
I'm gonna rock with the Raiders, man. Like, I don't know. This team, I feel like now they've kind of found their footing offensively. They kind of have an identity of what they want to do, just get the ball to their best playmakers. And I mean, they're on a hot streak right now, and like it's hard for me to go against them. They have the best wide receiver in the NFL, and they have currently the best running back as of this moment for this season in Josh Jacobs. So it's kind of hard to go against that. I'm gonna rock with this team, man. They're firing on all cylinders. So.
Yeah, I'm going with the Raiders as well. The offensively, the last couple of weeks they've been looking very, very great, especially Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs. Those two guys, man, phenomenal playmakers. Devontae top 3 in his categories, number 1 in touchdowns, top 4 in yards if I'm correct, and Josh Jacobs leading the league in rushing yards. So, yeah, the Rams they don't got really much going on that side of the ball. I can't wait to see Devontae torch Ramsey. Aaron Donald's out again, and I don't know if Baker Mayfield's going to touch the field, but that shouldn't make any difference. So go Raiders.
Yeah, I just remember Baker Mayfield did get signed by the Los Angeles Rams this week. But I'm going to go ahead and go with the Raiders, of course. I feel like this team is not dead just yet. I feel like, they're sitting at a record of 5-7. A lot of games could have gone either way in the beginning, but they have a few interesting matchups before they reach the end of the season where they match up against the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. It's the Rams, the Patriots, and the Steelers. So if they can, somehow win all three of those games, they can make a serious push for a wild card spot. But I'm going to go ahead and pick the Raiders in this spot. They're just a more talented team, plain and simple. But we'll go ahead and move on to our Sunday matchups and our Sunday slate of games. We have an interesting one. We have a rematch from a couple weeks ago. The New York Jets are on the road playing the Buffalo Bills.
An interesting matchup considering, this is a division game. But like I feel like I like the Jets defense and everything that they do. I like what I'm seeing from Mike White, but I gotta go with the Buffalo Bills in this one. I mean Josh Allen, sorry. He's starting to clean up his turnovers. He's doing a better job of protecting the ball and just playing within the offense. He's not trying to do too much. And I feel like the Buffalo Bills, I mean, they've been steady ever since they picked up those losses a couple weeks back, and now I feel like Josh Allen's doing a good job of steadying the ship. And just like you said in the last episode, I don't think that they're gonna to go back to what they were, and they're just gonna keep going on. So give me the Buffalo Bills in this one.
Okay, it's crazy the spread they got the Bills at 9.5. I feel like that's a little bit wild, especially at the way the last game went against the Jets and everything. I don't know, man. I feel like this is a trap game. Can the Jets go 2-0 against them? Maybe. I think so. So I'm gonna go with the Bills, but the 9.5 spread is crazy.
Yeah,
that is a crazy spread for a divisional game,
especially with the way the last game went too. The Buffalo Bills pretty much got stopped. The Jets stopped them on defense, but for me personally, I'm going to have to stick with the Buffalo Bills. I said it in our last episode. I don't see this team looking back now that they've secured the one spot again in the AFC. They're trying to, have a home game in Buffalo for the AFC Championship game this year. And, that was the goal. And they have to win a lot more games than just 9. And, They let one slip away the last time when they played the Jets. The Jets played one hell of a game, but I just can't see the Jets sweeping the Buffalo Bills in the same season. So I just can't see it. Go ahead and give me the Buffalo Bills. Do I believe they'll cover this -9.5 spread? Nah, I think this game probably ends up being like a 6-point game, and like Mike White can't get a go ahead touchdown late. But it's going to be interesting to see the Buffalo Bills and their defense with the loss of Von Miller. A couple of weeks ago, he went on his stream talking about how he was trying to be back for this game, and it wasn't. He dodged an ACL tear and stuff like that. But it turns out he underwent some surgery a couple of days ago without anybody knowing. And Sean McDermott just came out and said he's out for the season. So that's a huge loss. One of the best pass rushers in the league. So the Bills defense definitely took a hit with him being out for the season. So it's going to be really interesting. But go ahead and give me the Bills in this spot. We have another divisional matchup between the Cleveland Browns. They're on the road playing the Cincinnati Bengals.
I mean, do I expect Deshaun Watson to be a little bit better than what he was last week? Definitely. I think he'll definitely be better. But I mean, it's kind of hard to go against this Bengals team that's just they found their footing. I mean, it feels like whatever happened with Joe Burrow in the early part of the season is just out of memory. We don't remember that because the way he's playing right now, I mean, he might start pushing to be an MVP candidate. I don't see an argument against that. I mean, if he wins this week, a big divisional matchup, and he again performs like that, there's an argument to be had there that he's like a top 5. Maybe he can sneak into a top 3 MVP conversation. Who knows? But give me the Bengals in this one. Their offense, I mean, they got their weapons back, and even without Joe Mixon, if he plays or not, and this team's too good offensively, and the Cleveland Browns defense is not good. So
It's crazy, man. Joe Burrow is a 3-0 against the Chiefs and Mahomes, but he's 0-4 against the Browns in his career. So I don't know, man. They lost to the Browns earlier this season, if I'm correct, right?
Monday Night Football. I think that was the first game without Jamar Chase.
I'm gonna roll the dice. I'm gonna go with the Browns here.
You think Deshaun Watson's going to be a lot better this week?
I think
Better than Joe Burrow?
you said you're going with who?
I'm going with the Browns. Let's keep it pushing.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not. Thank you for the free point here. I'm going to go ahead and rock with the Cincinnati Bengals. They just have it. They're clicking on all cylinders. Joe Mixon, he was able to practice this week, and Zach Taylor has practiced today. And Zach Taylor did say that he's trending in the right direction to play this week. So he just needs to get out of the concussion protocols, and I think he'll do that. Probably, I would say Saturday, going into Sunday. So go ahead and give me the Bengals in this one. I can't see the Browns sweeping the Bengals this year. It's very similar to the Jets and the Bills. But yeah, we have a lot of divisional games because the next one I'm going to talk about is the Minnesota Vikings on the road playing the Detroit Lions. Let me go ahead and tell you guys this. The Lions opened up as -2 favorites to win this game, and then they upped the line to -2.5.
Man, they believe in that Lions offense, man. They like that Lions offense, but
They really do.
I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and act like the Vikings are gonna blow them out. Absolutely not. I mean, their defense has been up and down all season, as we've spoken about multiple times, and they give up points. I mean, they let Mac Jones slice them apart. They let Mike White push the ball against them, and I don't expect anything other than what Jared Goff can do to this defense. But give me the Vikings overall. I think they're the better team. They're the more talented offense. But this game, in my opinion, I can see why they have the spread. At least, I mean, I would understand if the Vikings had a 2-point spread or a 3-point spread or even like a 1-point spread, but I don't see why the Lions are favored in this one. But again, divisional matchup with the offense that's stellar. So give me the Vikings in this one.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Vikings on this one. Gonna be a close matchup, man. The 2.5 spread for Detroit is pretty crazy to me, looking at the records and where both teams are sitting and how both teams are playing. But I'm gonna go with the Vikings. I think Kirk comes out, JJ comes out. I think they pull out a close win, but yeah, it's crazy for the spread to go the Lions way for me. I don't know, but hey, Detroit, Minnesota's defense, man, it's always bend don't break, and that's how they've been playing. So I feel like it's gonna be the same way this week. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it past anybody or past us. Make this game interesting. The Lions they're reeling off some nice wins, and of course we keep every game close. But for the Lions to open up as the favorites, it doesn't make any sense because it's not like the Vikings are like depleted or anything. Like we haven't lost anybody big, and from last game coming into this game. But I can't lie, man. The Lions they do play us very tough. Being in the same division, of course, but always when they're always in Detroit, it's always an interesting game. They always tend to get a win against us here and there. But I just don't see that being the case this year. I think we're rolling. Sitting here at 10-2, the Lions are a good team. They're an okay team, I would say, and being in our division, I think we'll be able to win this game and by at least like 3 points. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a shootout. Honestly, we're probably going to have to lean heavily on Dalvin Cook in this one. I think he needs to step up and have one of those 120 yards, 20 scrimmage yard games and a couple of touchdowns in order for us to kind of, keep the game flowing, going back and forth. But,
You feel disrespected being the underdog, being
oh,
Vegas
of
as the
course.
underdog.
Yeah, of course, because it doesn't make any sense. It's not like we have like any big injuries going into this game. It's like, for us to be the underdogs with the record of 10-2, it's a story of our season. Everybody's been disrespecting us, and this is like the cherry on top. The Lions, who are at 5-7, battling for a wild card spot, and we're number 2 in the NFC, and we are the underdogs going into this game. It's just crazy, but we're gonna go in there and we're gonna get a win. We're gonna move on to 11-2, so I won't be mad on Sunday. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next one. This is the obvious one. The Houston Texans, the 1-10-1 Houston Texans on the road playing the Dallas Cowboys.
Man. Yeah, you think the Cowboys could drop 40 again? I think it's possible, man. It's possible. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. This one's an obvious decision. Like they can run all over this team. Like they'll on every single way you can imagine. They're just gonna harass this team defensively, offensively. They could possibly drop 40 again. So give me the Cowboys.
So we're all taking the Cowboys here.
What's the spread? I need to know the spread.
I'm gonna ask you guys this. The spread is -16.5. Do you think the Cowboys cover the spread?
Who the Cowboys faced last week that the spread was like 9.5?
Colts. And they destroyed them.
And I told you they were going to destroy it, right?
Yeah.
This one,
16.5 for a point spread is crazy.
Let's put some money on the line, man. I'm taking the spread.
Yo, that spread is ridiculous.
-16.5, man.
I hope the Cowboys score in every single way, bro. Punt return, kick return, pass touchdown, running touchdown, defensive
pick
touchdown.
6.
They need everything.
Honestly, yeah. I think they cover this. To be honest, I think they cover this. Big, you think they cover?
Yeah, I'm taking the over on it.
Okay. I think they cover too, but of course we're all going with the Cowboys. We're gonna keep this one very short. But we'll go ahead and move on to a more interesting matchup. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars on the road playing Tennessee Titans.
This one's kind of an interesting one. It's like this Titans, but it's very hard going against Derrick Henry when he plays against a divisional opponent. Like something about this guy, when he plays a divisional opponent, he's going for 200 yards. And I'm going to go with the Titans because of this. I feel like Derrick Henry, he's been quiet for like the last 3 weeks. He's been shut down, but he's going to have a monster game. He's going to run all over this team. When this guy sees divisional opponents, he just licks his lips. I mean, the guy just goes off. So give me Derrick Henry and the Titans in this game.
Yeah, past 2 weeks, Henry's been shut down. The Titans been losing. The run game hasn't been working for them. So I feel like this is the week to get back in shape, get that run game going, solidify their playoff spot, and get Derrick Henry involved and warm him up for playoffs. On the Jaguars front, man, I just don't know, man. 1 week is good for them. The next week is bad. They haven't been involved in Etienne. He's been hurt lately, and Lawrence hasn't been looking the same. So I'm going to go with the Titans on this one.
Yeah, I feel like this game could be a little interesting, to be honest. I'm going to go ahead and take the Titans, though. I mean, when we think about it, bro, these guys are gonna win their division pretty comfortably. They're 7-5, and the next team is the Colts sitting at 4-8, along with the Jacksonville Jaguars who are 4-8. So they just got to win maybe a couple more games in order for them to clinch a playoff spot. And I think this is a good spot for them. They're gonna go and they're gonna be at home, and they'll feed Derrick Henry the ball, and he's gonna have one of those big days again. So Titans, the spread is -4. I think they cover this. I think they do, to be honest. I think they cover this. So they probably win by like 6. So go ahead and give me the Titans. Dang, so many divisional games. We have another one here. We have the Philadelphia Eagles on the road playing the New York Giants.
It's a pretty straightforward decision. I'm gonna go with the Eagles in this one. I mean, the team's red hot. The best offensive line in football. Jalen Hurts is playing like MVP candidate. I mean, and then AJ Brown, and then of course the Giants' offense. like it's hard to produce anything in that offense. It's very tough. So give me the Eagles in this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Eagles as well. The offense, we asked Jalen Hurts, man, go get 400. He came back with 403 touchdowns and a running touchdown. So this offense on all cylinders looking phenomenal. They got Jordan Davis back, so I feel like the run defense is gonna stop Saquon and is gonna force Daniel Jones to throw the ball to these Walmart receivers that can't make a play for themselves. So yeah, I'm going with the Eagles, 12-1, and kind of need the Giants to lose another game for Seattle to kind of solidify that seventh spot. So go Eagles.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna rock with the Eagles like you guys, but hey man, a loss here for the New York Giants would be pretty big because
What's the spread on this game?
the spread is, I think it's Eagles minus
7.
7, so it's by a
Okay, yeah, that
touchdown.
makes sense. That makes sense. That's a good spread right there.
So I mean, Eagles, I think they'll cover that spread, but man, if the Giants lose this one, they have the Washington Commanders right after this, and they just tied with them last week. And if they don't get a win there, then they have to go on the road to Minnesota and try to get a win there. And then they have to play the Eagles again at the end of the season. I think if they lose this game and somehow lose next week, I think their season's pretty much over. I think the Commanders probably take that last spot and they just fall out. I don't think we're probably going to see 4 teams come out of the come to the playoffs out of the NFC East. But go ahead and give me the Eagles in this one. Just no, there's just no way the Giants can win this game. If Saquon Barkley would have to go nuclear, and that's just about it. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next game. The Baltimore Ravens, without Lamar Jackson, are on the road playing the Pittsburgh Steelers.
God damn, how many divisional matchups, man? What the hell? Getting a lot of it, but this is kind of an interesting one. I mean, Tyler Huntley, he's a very capable backup. I mean, last year we saw it when he came in. He was able to perform in Lamar's absence. But I mean, give me the Steelers defense. Like these guys, when they see the Ravens, like even when Lamar has played, he struggled against the Steelers historically. Like it's very hard for him to beat that team. And so I'm gonna go with the Steelers in this game. Like that defense, of course, TJ Watt and Najee Harris have been playing better every single week, and I just gotta go. I gotta go with that defense against a backup quarterback. So give me the Steelers.
Yeah, man, this defense is looking healthy for me as well, man. TJ Watt's back. What's his face? Minka Fitzpatrick's playing out of his mind. So I'm gonna go with the Steelers team in this defense, man. I think they're gonna shut down Huntley this week. They're gonna shut down Mark Andrews, and there's not much of a run game for the Ravens without Lamar at the helm. So I feel like it's a big week for the Ravens, but I don't think they're gonna come out with a W, and I think they're still a stake one for this. So let's go Steelers.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Steelers schedule right now. They have Baltimore twice. So this will be the first matchup. Without Lamar Jackson, I'm going to give it to the Steelers. I'll give them the edge here at home. But when they meet again in a couple of weeks with Lamar Jackson back on the road, I'm going to give that to Lamar Jackson. But for this specific game, I'm going to definitely go with the Steelers. For some reason, I just feel like the Steelers they're playing really tough, so they can protect Mike Tomlin's above 500 record streak. So I mean, they have some interesting matchups. You know, they have the Carolina Panthers after this, the Las Vegas Raiders, then the Ravens again, and the Cleveland Browns. Do I personally think Mike Tomlin will finish the season 500 and above? I don't think so. He's got a few tough matchups, but they've been playing great. Their defense has stepped up big these last couple of weeks, and they've been getting wins in the right spots. But I think this will be another good spot for them without Lamar Jackson. The Steelers will just go in there, bring a lot of pressure to Huntley, and the Ravens are going to try to run the ball, but I don't think it'll be effective. And Mark Andrews, he'll put up numbers, but it's just going to be empty stats at this point. Without Lamar Jackson, it's not going to be able to put up points on the board. So go ahead and give me the Steelers in this one. The -2.5 spread, I'll take that. They're going to win this game by 3 or more for sure. We just can't get away with these divisional games, man. We have another one between the Kansas City Chiefs at 1:00 on the road playing the Denver Broncos.
It's hilarious, bro. Like usually, like you would have hyped the matchup last year, like Russell Wilson versus Patrick Mahomes. Like Russell Wilson's a great quarterback, but I mean, can this Broncos offense even put up a touchdown? Like, is that even possible for this team? So, I mean, give me Patrick Mahomes. He took a loss, and I don't think he'll ever take 2 losses in a row. That just doesn't register with Patrick Mahomes. He knows that he needs to continue to win, to secure the top spot in the AFC. So, I mean, I like even if it could be anybody playing the Broncos, I would not pick the Broncos in this game. So, give me the Chiefs.
Funny divisional game here. Yeah, go Chiefs, man. And I love that top three pick. So Broncos keep on losing, and Mahomes gonna have a field day against the Broncos. So I got the Chiefs one.
Yeah, I'm picking the Chiefs as well. This is a good bounce back spot for them after losing to the Bengals last week. Crazy. This game was supposed to be our Sunday night football matchup this week, but a couple weeks ago it got flexed out of it. Of course it makes sense because the Broncos are just pretty much they're terrible. But of course we all have the Chiefs winning. Do we think they'll cover this -9.5 spread though?
Yeah, I believe so. But like at the same time, I gotta give credit to this Broncos defense. They're no slouch whatsoever. But I mean, they gotta jump Russell Wilson after this game is done for sure. Like no question, they gotta take him to the locker room and do some damage because this is just terrible, man. Like for them to go out and then they'll play their asses off, and then this guy just goes in and doesn't even score like a touchdown. Maybe gets a lucky touchdown, like when he's single handedly the worst quarterback in the NFL as of this moment. So I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs do cover the spread. I feel like it's going to be close because the Broncos defense is low key good, but them being out there because their offense not scoring much, it might be bad for them. So I do think the Chiefs cover the spread.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Big H. I just feel like they'll be out there on the field a little too long when Russell Wilson is not extending drives. So they'll be gassed and Mahomes will take advantage of that. So I believe they'll cover this -9.5 spread. But we'll finally move on to a game that's not a divisional matchup. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on the road playing the San Francisco 49ers.
Give me the 49ers. Like I'm not buying this Buccaneers gimmick, man, at all. Like they can have the cute comeback, but this is still a talented 49ers team even without Jimmy G. I mean, Brock Purdy, like he had a decent performance. He was good enough to get him that game, but of course his defense is no slouch whatsoever, and I'm not buying that comeback that Tom Brady had. Like I don't believe in this Buccaneers team whatsoever. So give me the Niners in this game. They're the more talented offense.
Predicament here. Big predicament. Am I trusting Blake Purdy or I'm going to go with Tom Brady?
You got to word it differently, man. Are you trusting that defense or are you trusting Tom Brady?
I'm trusting Tom Brady. Let's go Tampa, man. I think I might go to the game this weekend. We'll see what happens, but I'm going to go with Tampa Bay here. We're gonna roll the dice, go with the gamble. I just feel like Tampa's going to come out and get the W.
Nah, I don't know about all that, man. Tom Brady is my guy, but with the way, watching the Buccaneers play is so painful, especially if you're a fantasy owner of like Chris Godwin or Mike Evans, Leonard Fournette, Rashad White, or Tom Brady himself. It's terrible to watch this team. They're not the red hot team we saw from last year and the year before that. And, if Tom Brady, he's been struggling against everybody this year, and now he's running into one of the best defenses in the league, which I believe they're the best defense in the league, the Niners. Even without Jimmy Garoppolo, this defense is going to give the Buccaneers hell, and I think Brock Purdy's good enough to steady the ship. Kyle Shanahan has had a lot of good words to say about him in the presser yesterday, so I think the team, everybody believes in him. Brandon Ayuk believes in him. The weapons he's with, the weapons believe in him. So I think the Niners will probably try to just keep it simple, run the ball with Christian McCaffrey, give him about 18, 20 carries, and try to let Brock Purdy sling it here and there, and not keep the ball from out of harm's way, and kind of just manage the game a little bit, but also kind of airing it out here and there, and testing this Buccaneers secondary. So go ahead and give me the Niners here. This -3.5 spread. I think they'll cover this. I mean, Tom Brady's going to come back home and he's going to get an L. So I'm taking the Niners. But we'll move on to the next game. The Carolina Panthers, coming off their bye week, are on the road playing the Seattle Seahawks.
Give me the Seahawks in this game. Like it's hard to go against Geno Smith as it is right now, and they're a team that knows that they need to get wins to secure this playoff spot, and they can't let games drop. So I mean, I like this Panthers defense. I think they're very respectable, but I mean, their quarterback play is just not there for this team. Sam Darnold did have a good performance when he started, but I don't believe in him moving forward. So give me the Seahawks in this game.
Of course. You already know my pick. It's not even a question, man. CS Rise, baby. Another bye week. We got the Panthers coming in. It's an easy W for us. Geno's going to carry the load. We might not have Kenneth Walker this week, but it's all right. Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. And I feel like Tyreek Williams is going to get another pick this week. And I feel like, we got the rookie of the year right there, defensive rookie of the year. So keep it going. Let's go Seattle. Easy dub.
I'm picking Seattle in this one for sure. I mean, it's the Carolina Panthers. They're not playing for anything right now. But hey, man, after this week, the Seattle Seahawks have some interesting matchups. They have a home game against the Niners, and they have to go on the road to Kansas City. Then they have a home game against the Jets. So we're gonna see Sauce on one side, and we're gonna see Tariq Woolen on the other side towards the end of the season in January. And then they close out the season with the Rams, man. So the Seattle Seahawks got to finish this season after they secure a win this week. They got to go 2-2 some at best. They got to go 2-2. That's the only way I see it. They got to somehow get a win against San Francisco or Kansas City, and then try to split between the Jets and the Rams. I think, or get a win against both. But instead of thinking too far ahead, I'm gonna go ahead and just talk about this game. Go ahead and give me the Seattle Seahawks. As a Kenneth Walker fantasy owner, just have him rest up this week. Playoffs are next week, so I need him back then. So go ahead and give me Seattle in this one. But we'll go ahead and move on to our Sunday Night Football matchup. We have the Miami Dolphins on the road playing the Los Angeles Chargers.
Damn. Like, will Tua redeem himself from that terrible showing that he had? One of the worst performances of his season so far, proving everything that I thought about him. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tua in this game, even though I would not like to. But on the other hand, you have Justin Herbert, who is under duress with that terrible offensive line, and of course, I mean, he's struggling to close out games in the fourth quarter, win games in the fourth quarter, as it is right now. And I mean, I don't see them stopping this Dolphins offense. They had a bad showing last week, but this Chargers defense is nowhere near that Niners defense. So give me Tua in this game.
Yeah, I feel like Tyreek and Water are gonna have a field day, man, against this Chargers defense. Like what we seen against that defense, Devontae last week, and he just torched them. It literally torched them, and I just feel like that's gonna happen again this week with Tua, Tyreek, and Jalen Waddle. So give me Miami, and I feel like it's gonna be a good matchup between Herb and Tua. We'll see if Mike Williams comes back healthy, but I just can't trust that Chargers defense and that Chargers offensive line. So let's go Miami.
I think this is a perfect spot for the Miami Dolphins, coming off an embarrassing loss to not Jimmy Garoppolo but to Brock Purdy. The Dolphins they want this game bad, and if this game could be played tomorrow, they'd want it played tomorrow. So go ahead and give me the Dolphins this one. I think Tua, that ankle injury that he suffered towards the end of the game, I heard it was just nothing. He'll be ready to go, and Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, they're gonna have themselves a hell of a day, and the Chargers, they just won't be able to keep up, man. I think Emmanuel Acho, this is the game he's been waiting for. Tua versus Justin Herbert. So if Tua comes out victorious, he's gonna have a field day on social media. So I just can't see the Chargers with their wide receivers, even with Keenan Allen, even with Mike Evans, man. Those guys who don't necessarily have pace, and Keenan Allen, who looks like a shell of himself out there, not being able to create separation from anybody anymore. Be helpful to Justin Herbert. It's probably just going to be him and Austin Eckler and those dump off passes and stuff like that. So go ahead and give me the Dolphins in this one. But we'll go ahead and close out with the last game of week 14. On Monday night, we have the New England Patriots on the road playing the Arizona Cardinals.
This one is kind of an interesting one. This is Cardinals off their bye, correct?
Cardinals off their bye, and Patriots played last week, I believe.
Okay. Do I want to go with the Patriots?
They opened up as favorites, -1.5.
Give me the Cardinals in this game, man. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals in this game just because they got D-Hop. They have Marquise Brown. They're off a bye. I feel like this offense right now, I'm not gonna sit here and say that they're 100% back, or they're gonna go off on this Patriots defense. But this Patriots defense has shown at times that they are leaky, that they are beatable, and I just don't trust in Mac Jones to be able to deliver a win. I mean, the guy, last week 5.4 yards per attempt. I just don't see him slinging it against any team, and I kind of like the Cardinals coming off their bye winning this game. So give me that team.
Phew, I feel like it's a tough one right here. I'm not gonna lie to you. Nah, I'm gonna stand my ground. Like I said Arizona some trash. I ain't never gonna pick him, so I'm gonna go with Bill Belichick and Mac Jones and the boys, man. Come on now. I feel like Belichick's last two, he's 0-2 in the last 2 weeks against the Bills and in Minnesota. But I feel like he's gonna come back this week and get a W. You know, he's fine for a playoff spot against a team that is not really much putting up anything against anybody, to be honest to me. So yeah, I'm gonna take Belichick and the boys. So let's go Patriots.
For the Patriots, I mean, it's for the Patriots to open up as -1.5 favorites. Something's fishy here because why is the line so low? Why is it -1.5? You know, there's supposed to be the extremely better team than the Cardinals. So I'm just gonna stick with what Vegas got, man. I'm not taking this Patriots -1.5. I'm just gonna take the Cardinals. I'll take the Cardinals in this one. How they get this one here at home, I don't know, man. They're coming off their bye week, so I'm hoping they're a team that's refreshed and rejuvenated to finish out the rest of the season. We all know they're not making the playoffs, and with the way the season's been going for them, Cliff Kingsbury, he's going to be out of there. So, um, just a matter of the season ending in a couple of weeks for them. They're playing for pretty much nothing. But at home crowd, they're going to rally behind that, and they'll get a win on Monday night here against Bill Belichick, and Bill Belichick will move to 6-7 in a tough AFC wild card race where they're on the outside looking in right now. The Chargers on the outside looking in right now, and of course, as we talked about, the Las Vegas Raiders, who are not dead in the water just yet, or they'll be creeping back into that conversation real soon. So, give me the Cardinals in this one. For some weird reason, though, we have 6 teams on bye in Week 14 in the NFL season. The Atlanta Falcons are on bye. The Chicago Bears are on bye. Green Bay Packers, Indianapolis Colts, New Orleans Saints, and Washington Commanders. So, we all play fantasy, so this is definitely not good for any of us if we have any players from any of these respective teams. But regardless, 6 teams on bye in Week 14, I think it's kind of ridiculous. They got to fix that up moving on to next season. But that pretty much wraps up Week 14 of the NFL season. Now I do want to get to Odell Beckham and his situation. Odell Beckham and the sweepstakes opened up on Friday. I believe he had a meeting with the Buffalo Bills, and that went pretty well. Then the Giants as well, and it's the latest one with the Dallas Cowboys that I'm having a bit of a shock with. He went into Dallas. He worked out with them. He worked out with all of these teams. And when he got done with his workout in Dallas, Jerry Jones came out and said that he's not healthy at all, and he's not even nowhere near close to playing this month. If anything, he might be ready to go in January. So they ended up not making an offer to him, and it's just weird. Like, he went and worked out for the Bills, worked out for the Giants. Nobody said anything there, and all of a sudden he works out for the Cowboys, and something said. It's felt like something's fishy in the back end.
Yeah, I can't. That doesn't match up to me. I don't know, maybe it sounds so weird, the fact that the Buffalo Bills didn't say anything and Giants didn't say anything, and then all of a sudden Jerry Jones comes out and saying yo, he's not even ready yet. I don't know, maybe was the process for OBJ to get into fitness for a month while he's on the team? Was he expected to play to just contribute instantly, come in and then start building towards fitness as he goes on? It seems like the Cowboys are saying yo, this guy's just not ready to play football for us. There's just no way that he'd be ready. So it's kind of surprising that they decided that they're not going to give him an offer after all that hype, him going to games with Micah Parsons and Trevon Diggs, and they're all courtside and everything. They're tweeting on Twitter and stuff. OBJ's watching all these games, and then all of a sudden it's yo, this guy's not even ready to play football. So definitely sounds like something fishy.
Yeah, I mean, I see reports saying that he can be ready in 5 weeks or the beginning of preseason or not. But for the Cowboys to come out, have him come in, train, practice, give him a workout, and say that he's not going to be ready by the start of the postseason is crazy to me. Bills didn't say nothing, the Giants didn't come out and say nothing, but at the same time, it's they didn't offer him any contract either. So maybe they didn't come out and want to say, hey, he's still injured, but we didn't offer him a contract. They're just you know what? We're just going to leave it alone and keep it pushing. Maybe he's not healthy as people or teams want him to be healthy, but we'll see, We'll see. So I feel like he's in a tough spot right now because it's been a minute since he touched the field and everything. And I don't know. Teams are not giving him the opportunity, to showcase what he's about. But at the same time, man, who knows?
That's kind of weird though. Buffalo Bills didn't say anything. The Giants didn't say anything. So guys, is that a hit piece by the Cowboys? Why that specific team? The Buffalo Bills and Giants, there's no problems there. Mm-hmm. And then there's an issue with the Cowboys. So that's kind of
who knows?
I
That's
think
kinda odd.
it's gonna be really, really weird if this guy signs somewhere within the next week or two, and just pretty much plays his way into the postseason, just pretty much ramping up his conditioning and stuff like that, and he's able to produce and still get out there on the field and go crazy. It's gonna look bad and look weird on the Cowboys end. You had the opportunity to bring in this guy and upgrade your offense, but of course, he visited you guys last, and the two teams he visited before you didn't say anything, and we were the first one to leak him not being fully healthy and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. Maybe there might not be a winner of this Odell Beckham Jr. sweepstakes. When we really think about it, if maybe the Cowboys are right, let's think about both sides of the coin. If the Cowboys are right and Odell's not ready to go, nobody here is a winner, and he's just looking towards playing next year. He's what is he, 30 years old now? Second ACL tear. I don't know, man. If he's able to go, it makes sense for him to contribute on a championship contending team in this postseason. But if he's not, might as well just thug it out and wait till next season and be fully healthy then, and maybe you might be able to get the money you're looking for, or a little less than that, and to be able to get out there on the field in September. But I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. But that pretty much wraps up our episode today. Any final words, Phil, before we close things out here?
Man, finally the Packers are on a bye, bro. It feels like it's taken forever to get a bye.
I mean, this late into the season, man, it's still crazy. Like week 14.
6 teams on a bye this late.
Yeah, 7 teams. Seattle's on a bye game this week, so
This guy, man. It's gonna be
This guy
hilarious
advised.
if the Carolina Panthers get a win, man. It's gonna be hilarious. But of course, we're all looking forward to another week of football, week 14 in the NFL season. We're slowly getting there to the postseason. Teams are starting to clinch their divisions and clinch playoff spots. So looking forward to football this weekend. But with that being said, we'll go ahead and close things out here. Thank you so much for tuning in today's episode. We really appreciate your love and support. We'd really appreciate it if you like, commented, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at New Media Podcast. For those of you that are watching us on YouTube, all of our social media handles will be in the beginning of this video. And if you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, if you go to our Instagram page at New Media Podcast, you'll be able to navigate yourself to all of our social media handles there. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Record a new hit, then we making us a film. Wouldn't sign a deal if I got a couple mil. Been in the lab, now they throwing out deals. Me and now Lake, now that's overkill.